All right, welcome everybody. I'd like to call to order the November 12th, 2025 EAC monthly meeting. And I know John distributed the agenda and the minutes. Did everybody have a chance to read those? Are there any edits or objections or any comments on the minutes?
Motion to pass.
Okay, we need a second. All in favor? Very good. Okay. Public comments, seeing there are none, we'll move on. And junior EAC member update. So Jenna, do you have anything for us?
Formally, I have not much, but did want to kind of address my project or area of focus to kind of narrow that down. I wanted to narrow down the focus towards connecting neighborhoods to parks, and particularly the neighborhood that I live in that has a lot of students in it, is just up Coomer. So if you go out the back side of the neighborhood, there's like one stretch of road that's unsafe to get to the park. But other than that, it's like, it'd be great to be able to connect that in some way, whether it's a trail by North Park Church or behind North Park Church that could bring us to the park, or a sidewalk or some other thing, and then address that with other neighborhoods as well. Just kind of little sections that would be easier to connect to North Park in general, kind of from all sides.
Sure, who owns that property that you're talking about?
I'm not exactly sure, but I do know that like the road that goes through it is like one side of the road is on that like the retirement home there, and then the other side is North Park Church. So I don't know how that plays in. That's all like base level, like something I was thinking of that I'd like to do, but obviously there's other levels to that have to be addressed, definitely.
Well, and you can expand on that because that's certainly something that we work with council on, and that is, you know, the sidewalks they could put in and where they could put in, and there's grants associated with that. So, you know, Nick, there's ways to keep us informed about what's happening from council to increase sidewalk and, you know, and other grants with that.
Definitely. I think grants are a little bit on pause now, given the state and federal funding situation at this moment. But yes, there is.
Okay, good.
Awesome. Sounds good. And then another thing that I wanted to share, two other things actually. First off, I know that Bernie's going to talk about this later, but I did attend the tree tenders meeting and I was happy. I got to meet one of the girls I've actually gone to middle school with. So she was a student and she was at the tree tenders meeting, and that was wonderful to have a chat with her, and I'd love to have more kids interested in that. And then another thing that I mentioned last time, but kind of have been thinking about more, is addressing like a social media page that me and Nadia work together on to kind of reach younger folks and to get in contact with other students and to advertise events through a network that is more connected with younger students.
With your sidewalk connectivity thing,
Mhm.
find out who your council person is and
Okay.
identify who owns the properties. And that's where you need to start, I would think.
Thank you.
That's great. I think we would all agree that you're talking about a social media page or connecting through social media is just the missing link that we're always looking for, I think, on this committee.
Yeah.
That it really is.
Yeah, so I'd love to, I don't know if there's any like approval processes for that, if you have like, if it's like associated with the township, if I have to like have some sort of rules or regulations. for
Probably
I
a
mean,
partnership, right?
Higher level, but
Yeah.
Yeah,
we can figure something out, I'm sure.
awesome, thank you.
And it
That's all
might
I-
even be better to just tie directly into the town so that.
Yeah, we can always just cross post or just post directly, even just whatever works, but
But-
we're always looking for more stuff.
Yeah, John's public information officer, so, you know, he would be your contact. Right there in our neighborhood. That's great. Anything
That's all
else?
I've got, thank you.
Thank you, Jenna.
Yeah.
And the only other thing I want to mention is, Matt, and that James did return all the or all the the catch basins. He also put a bunch down and in my own neighborhood. I'm like, oh, whoa, where did these pop up? So he did have a bit of burst of energy there at the end, and place some down. So we'll for the spring, summer, we'll try to update where we left off and, you know, how we can sort of put life back into that project.
Yeah, that'd be good. If we can get a list of the whatever roads were paved this past season as well, so we can add those onto the list too. That'd be good.
Okay, good. And we'll put that on the SharePoint. Okay, moving on to project updates. Sustainability, I'll mention this, so we are officially scheduled for Penn State University students presenting the community-wide greenhouse gas inventory. That is next meeting. That will be in the sustainability time. I gave them 30 minutes, so I'm gonna try to make next month's agenda not be as robust. I mean, it'll be our usual updates and everything, but you know, all this other stuff, we could just table that and make this the priority. So we'll give them a full 30 minutes for questions. I've invited Sawyer Seilinger from PA Sustainability. I invited John Schwend, Township Manager. He may or may not attend, but we will have our presentation. We will have our greenhouse gas inventory, and we will have our last detail to the gold standard sustainability recertification. Anything else you want to add to that, Melissa?
No, I was gonna ask, do we want to try to meet up with them beforehand for dinner or anything? For people who are free, is that something?
They're gonna just do it by Zoom.
Oh, they're not coming physically?
No, they won't be
Okay.
here. They'll just be Zoom.
Originally, it was a physical visit to them.
Oh, wow, let's check on that.
Yeah, we might want to confirm.
Wow, okay. Yeah, we definitely.
She specifically chose the students for our areas based off. where people
Okay.
Have those ties, so they. can go to the
Gotcha. Okay,
location.
very good. Thank you.
Yeah.
Very good. And that's all I have. Any questions on sustainability? Okay, next up is any update to rain garden activity?
Not too much for this month. I am happy to see that with all of the construction out there on the parking lots with putting in the lights. I did swing by and make sure that everything looked like it was still untouched and everything. It looked really good. I spoke a little bit with Bernie and through Bernie and also Arch about like what time frame I'm looking at for next year for doing some work again. Next year I want to get chip drop, so we get a lot of mulch. And really work on some of the beds that had a lot of the Japanese knotweed in them. And now that should be taken care of a little bit more, and I can get more rocks down. I can get more mulch down, and we can get in those beds a little bit more. So.
The tree companies, most of them are looking for a place to dump,
Mhm.
so they'll be more than happy.
Oh, it's a lot. My neighbor did it. It's a lot of wood chips, but that's an area that can actually use it, where if you get it for your house, I hope your neighbors also need wood chips. And their neighbors and their neighbors and their neighbors. So.
Yeah, and I can tell you by filling out the application, we'll talk about it a little bit for Birdtown, PA and sustainability. The rain garden project is extremely important. It is really, it's a core of a lot of the things that they're looking for. So, you know, it's an important project.
Yes, and it's a good launching place for everything else that has to do with invasive plants, native plants. that
Yeah,
kind of
absolutely.
thing.
That's exactly what I mean. We can point to it all the time of being, you know, sort of our foundation for doing just
Exactly.
that, removing it or identifying it and having community outreach to it. So
Mhm.
that's great. Any other questions for rain garden update? Okay, Ken, I'm sorry, let's go to Ken before, I'm sorry, Bernie. Let's go to Ken before on deer update, please.
25 deer that they harvested in October, suburban whitetail. Again, they're not hunting in any of the green space of the township, so that we can meet some requirements of the Game Commission for the enhanced management. I've gotten data on deer pickups going back, I guess, since 2016, actually 2012. So when we're looking at how, giving us some yardstick to be able to measure how well we're handling the deer management thing, is we can use the benchmark of how many deer are getting picked up on the roads. And corollary to that is that the additional expense that McCandless incurs, if somebody can come up with a way that we can get the insurance companies to kick McCandless money to help with our enhanced deer management, it would be wonderful. Because that would allow us to do even more. And it would be saving them a lot of money on with the number of deer that were picked up last year. If it was 3,000 an accident, which is probably really small, it's probably really an underestimate of the cost. It would be over $500,000 that the insurance companies are kicking out to repair cars. So if anybody can come up with a way and access to any of these insurance companies to
Thanks, interest.
so we have an additional property under management this year, private property under management, than we had last year. We have one more property. And this is prime time right now, just for caution. In the last week, I had the opportunity to harvest 4 different bucks with my car. One was on the way here. So this is prime right now. So this is when you're gonna see a lot of deer on the side of the road. And we're just gonna progress on and see how we can go. But as a yardstick for how we're progressing with things, I'm going to be proposing that we use, the number of deer that are picked up each year. And when we can start to show that decreasing, that's one measure that we're getting the deer population more under control. And that's all I have.
You said
Question?
that you have all the data going back. Where is that?
From the police have it from the pickup.
Okay, you have a
Yeah.
copy of it. Can I grab a picture of that? That email that you sent with the file, that file is shared or saved directly on your computer, which is why nobody else can
Okay, yeah,
access
okay.
it. Yeah, because it says it's on a C drive, so it doesn't work for us, but if you download that or save it as a PDF and then
Okay.
resend it, we'll be
Okay.
able to see whatever it was.
Jeff found it in the
I
newspaper.
think,
did you?
I did, yeah. I
Okay.
grabbed the vexing deer dilemma.
Okay.
So I might have found it, but if it's the same one.
See, when I tried it, when I copied it and pasted it and it
Yeah,
worked for me.
it's saved on your computer. I like it.
I mean, Ken, just a quick question about the rating. Let's say I talk to my insurance agent and say, hey, would you be interested in underwriting the deer program? What kind of dollars are we talking on an annual basis that you'd hope to either subsidize or in total need?
Anything would be great.
I know.
I'm gonna
but
throw
what's the
that-
amount?
Really haven't looked at it from that standpoint, but like $5,000 would go a long way.
Okay. So it could be something as small as 5,000.
And it's a matter of, there's a little bit of an issue with an insurance company giving money to McCandless municipality. So I'm not sure if that's,
Get a third party underwriter like a nonprofit who could accept it, I'm sure, as a sponsorship.
and that's something that's not in my ballpark to work
Yeah.
through.
Okay.
But it would make so much sense for the insurance companies because they can get some good PR out of it. And it would save them money on the auto insurance cost of things.
So if I can just sort of go back, so you want to bring to us each month the number of deer that were harvested,
Mhm.
along with the number of deer that were killed on the roads.
Yes, and I didn't tell you what that was. That was for September it was 27 and for October it was 21.
Okay, so that was on the roads.
That was on McCandless roads,
Yeah.
which and those are picked up. That means that doesn't include the deer that ran back into the woods and died, and that doesn't include McKnight 19.
So give me the number again. I'm sorry. September was 21.
September was 27 and October was 21.
Okay, and October was 21. And in October, we're at 25 harvest.
We had 25 harvested in October, and so we're we had 16 in September,
Yeah.
so we're at 41 so far. We're
Okay.
ahead of last year.
Okay, good. Great. Okay, very good. And then secondly, if we were to, contact insurance companies, Allstate, State Farm, blah, 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 what would that money go, like, what do you think it goes for directly?
I'm not sure exactly how, council hasn't approved the expenditure for the enhanced management until this month.
Okay,
And I'm not sure exactly how that goes through.
can you ask that question, Nick? And,
Yeah, I can follow up on that. I don't know that off of the top of my head.
okay, good, very good. Thanks, Ken.
I forgot you were there, Nick. I should have been throwing some of this your way.
I'm always watching over.
Yeah, those are two good suggestions.
Just watching.
Okay, next is tree canopy. And let's leave off the tree tenders recap until we get down to community outreach. So if you want to just give us the update on the tree program.
Okay, you want to pull it up, John?
Sure.
I also think, I know I'd sent the update later, so let's just go past first couple of pages. And go to the planning guide.
So so that's page number 4. Are you stopping on 4?
Yeah.
Okay, because I do have a question about that.
Yeah, I mean, so the committee met and, last month, I proposed kind of a draft of what we were suggesting to do. So there would be 2 speaker series. Archie would do one on kind of tree health, tree health and landscaping in March. And one of the things I wanted to do was pick actual dates, because then we can promote, in January, when we launch the idea of we want to restore the tree canopy, here's our goals. We can kind of outline an overview for the whole year, what we see occurring. So picking dates was important. So we went with March 5th. And again, LaRoche originally had said that they would share this. And by the way, I can forward this to everybody so you all have it. But this is why we reached out to Joanna, because Archie wanted to make sure that we could, with Joanna, if she last March 28th was, pulling out the invasives, could be behind her, maybe more parks. If there's an invasive removal program, could we do a very specific planting on April 11th, which is a Saturday? And we tried staying 2 weeks away from when the road pickup is. 'Cause it's the last, yeah, well, I thought I had it on my calendar for the last Saturday of April. But maybe that was just a discussion, not a final.
No, it's final. It's
Yeah.
locked in. I think
Yeah,
that's
so we were trying to be cognizant of, other events and when to do things, so it feels early to do it, but I think because we want to, if you're removing invasives, let's say in a park, and we work with, parks on maybe where they'd want to do this, where some of the worst areas are. Archie was, concerned that we could get in there and plant, so the invasives can't come back, or try to mitigate that.
The only thing that's going to be up that early is garlic mustard.
Unless we went after shrubs.
Barberry, I've just been spraying.
Well, and again, that's up to you to decide, where we'll just say it this way. Our philosophy was, could we do a planting to really support, your program, right?
Right.
So you're gonna do an invasive removal somewhere, how can we come behind it, whether it's rain garden, whether it's wherever it is, right? Whether it's shrubs, whether it's
Right.
trees, whatever we could put in. So we wanted to dovetail the 2 programs. But, so on the 5th, though, it would do, so Jeff, I mentioned last meeting 2 speaker series. So we talked about doing Archie on the March 5th, and all the way down, there's a gentleman named Adam Harrington, who has a program called Learn Your Land. And do you know who he is? So he, he's got a massive YouTube following, and I guess he's local, so Archie's gotten to know him. And, anyways, we talked about maybe having Adam be our second speaker, to speak more about ecosystem, not just trees, but how the whole thing fits in. So those are the two speakers, we're proposing. The way the rest of the year would go is this remarkable tree. So last meeting you had asked about, we called it the Legacy Tree Program. And this notion of old trees and, how do we honor them and respect them? And, Archie was familiar with the Remarkable program. I think it's Franklin, that's what they
Mhm.
call it. So, I don't know if we can share, John, the other information I sent about the Remarkable program. But the idea behind the Remarkable program is it's asking the public, so say January through April, we promote that, we want to pay attention to tree canopy and give awards for it. And so the actual proposal would be to highlight and honor remarkable trees that define McCandless Township landscape history and to foster community connection through shared appreciation and natural environment. So April 1st, we would launch the announcement of the challenge on the township, website newsletter. I see promoting it really January through April, but it would actually open from April 1st through, say, the end of August and through the end of August. So then I don't know the date for yet for the community day, but what we thought is it would be a lot of fun then to kind of create exhibits of everything that was submitted, asking people to submit photos of their trees and what's remarkable. And the categories would be most historic tree, biggest or oldest, most beautiful tree, community favorite, which would be a people's choice. And then like a youth nomination award, best entry submitted by a young resident or a student group. So we kind of saw, those categories. So it's not just old trees. We still want to do the old trees, meaning that's the most historic trees that we have. And we want to see those submissions, and then we'd do kind of a whole host of judges. And again, I have this all documented, the certified arborists or forester, historians, artists and photographers, and, representatives from EAC. Community Day ideally would make those awards and announcements, and that would be our kind of community day, part of trees.
This is very well done, and this is very well thought out. I know everybody doesn't have the document yet, but I think
Yeah.
that, I mean, so I would send a document to everybody.
Okay,
And I know at the very end, you're sort of asking for the buy-in from the EAC, which,
right,
we, these guys don't have the stuff to do it yet. But I think that we ought to, after we should ask for everybody to read this and within a week or something like that, come back with their, by email.
yeah.
We should connect again because I don't want to hold this up. This is very good.
Yeah, and it was by request, right? I said, let me try and synthesize
yeah.
it with everybody and we are still open for, thoughts, feedback, how do we make it better? What are other, I know you, Joanna, you'd be like, a million categories and it would be silly categories.
I might, but I do have a question though. My question actually is, does this include trees that are in North Park too? Because I think that's where there are so many just incredible trees there. I don't know if it's
I would
gonna be
say-
that or if we want to focus on things that are in like,
Say the
more resident-
geography of McCandless.
okay.
I mean, our 16.4 square, that's how I'd be promoting it. That's how we think about it. I mean, yeah, if it sends people into parks looking for trees, then it's probably a good thing, right?
Yeah. I
So
think
did
so.
you want them excluded?
No,
Oh, okay.
no, there's so many beautiful trees in North Park. I want to make sure like they were included because they are very special there. And like, a lot of those, like, I know there's some there that are along trails that people hang things on, or they might have like a little fairy garden or something there. So
Okay, yeah, and like I said, open for feedback, but I think, trying to think of how, we were talking about what we could do for Community Day, and honestly, this just turned out to be a really great way to tie it all together. And then on the heels of that, October 18th would be our next tree tenders, tree adoption, planting, like the notion of making that kind of the McCandless Tree Day on October 18th, or we did the 18th this year, it'd be the 17th next year. And again, I already talked to Tree Pittsburgh about reserving that date for us. Anyway, so yeah, I feel like for us, it was thinking through the whole calendar, how do the activities interweave with each other and how do we then tie it together? And, you know, the communication plan, for the whole thing, I know Julie's gonna work on that, and then John. So our next step for the whole annual schedule plus this would be to meet with the, we talked about doing this last meeting. How do we coordinate then all of this with the staff and, you know, the 175th and, you know, how it does and doesn't
Mhm.
fit in. So.
Yeah, so I'd love to be a part of that with
Yeah.
Abby, with John, with Diane, with our John.
Yeah.
You know, so, yeah, I think this is very well done and very well thought out. And I like the dates. I think it's realistic.
Mhm.
I think it hits a lot of marks and it goes well beyond 175th into just tree pride. So I really,
That's a way
really
to
think
do
it was
it,
really
yeah.
well done.
Yeah.
The one question I have is back on slide 4
Yeah.
of your deck.
Yeah.
Now, you have McMail tip on every month of the year.
Yep, because we decided that last meeting. Did I miss that?
Did we decide that? Okay, then I missed it.
Well, here's what I asked for. I asked for the ability to have a way to promote what we're doing. Because it's not just those topics. It really is about the whole implementation of our events and our activities and how we tie that together with us.
Say it can be in McMail every month and maybe give it a different name rather than EAC tip, like environmental tip. It
Yeah,
could be a
so-
specific treat.
So maybe we could do
Trees
this.
throughout the year now.
You said 150 words, is that right?
Because I thought last meeting.
Trust me, I'm not gonna remember everything.
I know, so I thought last meeting,
Yeah.
what I had asked for was doing this and we decided that the only thing EAC gets is the tip, so. We talked about us taking half of the, is it 300 words?
300, 400, yeah, so
That's,
a big
So-
portion of it, yeah.
So we try and keep it at 150 and then, you know, now. There might be a couple of months, we would have talked about trees anyway, but maybe a couple of months. to
Absolutely.
Negotiate for, you know, the whole thing, but this was our way to kind of keep the activity and the interest going on, you know, our topics of how do we get everybody in the room happy about their trees.
I would say also that there are times when we're taking subjects and we're filling words with you know, McMail topics where
Yeah.
we could be shorter, we could be
Yeah.
more condensed and we could definitely share real estate with this. So,
Yeah, and again, it could just be something smaller. And again, we have a lot of stuff to do. And Joanna, we had a note down there. I mentioned about your scavenger hunt you had with the kids
Mhm.
on Community Day where you had already found the trees that we
Mhm.
had and the leaves. I mean, everybody loved that. So.
I don't know if anybody actually completed it, but I think it's a good idea and I think it's something that can come
Yeah.
up again later if we want to do something like if we go on a tree hike on
Yeah,
Brant
that's-
Trail.
Talked about is how do we get out of the booth, right?
Mhm.
So that, you know, our booth on Community Day has so many messages. So, you know, could we take the tree program, so the whole remarkable tree, and being able to do an exhibit of all the folks who apply, you know, having this printed out. And I don't know where we'd put them, John, maybe somewhere in town hall where people could kind of walk around and see them. But it's just a way to, you know, get out of just the 10 by 10, but same thing with the kid thing, because that's a scavenger hunt that have to
Mhm.
look. So we could, you know, organize it more to be like an actual kids activity that day.
and I think that Abby, I mean, there were certainly some empty booths.
Yeah,
And she probably wouldn't mind setting up another table and giving us, you know, a booth of actual information, then a booth of, you know, an activity or, you know, a tree focus or something like that.
yeah, I mean, you know, again, having maybe a little bit more engagement with the tree adoption. So I kind of see using Community Day now as kind of if it's a month before our McCandless Tree Day, then how do we kind of do something to engage the community to that day?
Mm-hmm.
So, and yeah, I don't know what you think about it. Needs a better name than Tree Day, but but it's the idea of focusing everybody on, you know,
Absolutely.
our annual moment to do the trees. Anyway, so
Is
Instead of
every-
tree
okay.
day, a lot of times they say Arbor Day.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, well, an Arbor Day, that's for
Wonderful.
our April 11th, we didn't want to do, we're planning on the March 5th and the April 11th date so that we kind of get ahead of Arbor Day and ahead of Earth Day so that, we're trying to kick things off without,
Mhm.
crowding the room for Arbor Day and because that's a lot of, the tree folks are like, please don't do things on those days. So, but we can talk about what we are doing on those days.
Okay, does everybody then, because it seems like I'm the only one that didn't remember, is everybody okay with that McMail, the way that we're going to structure the McMail tips for 2026?
Yeah, did I?
So like it's like an addendum of like a separate thing.
Yeah, no, you did a good job, I'm sure, but I'm sure,
Yes.
I would.
I have some suggested names for that if you need it. So the addendum at the end of the McMail tip, that is the tree related one. So we can go over that later. Though.
Yeah, well, you and Archie can have fun with that. Cause he's, he already has like his speaker series in the can and, he's just gonna make it more McCandless.
Oh, I was just making a tree pun. That's all I'm doing.
Yeah, I know you are. That's exactly what you want to do. And it needs that kind of creative. I feel like I've just been trying to focus on nailing, logistics, dates, times. So yeah, it needs more creative right now. So, that's it.
Great, so you'll send it to everybody.
Yes.
And what we should do is everybody should read it. And why don't we give 1 week? So because at the very end, you're asking for buy-in from the EAC, which is just, I know that we're all buying in, but why don't we just all do that and make it official and say the EAC has, voted by, emailed it to move forward with this plan.
And you're also looking for any feedback or thoughts on it too, you had said?
I am.
Okay, and so by end of day next Wednesday.
Okay, good. End of day next Wednesday. That's great. So Bernie, can I mention a couple of things that are sort of,
I have to get the update.
yeah, please, go, yeah, go.
I mean, if I can jump onto the update, because those people in this room who were phenomenal when it comes to, our October 18th. And, Jeff, you showed up on the 17th and helped offload trees, as did John.
Mhm.
So, and Ken, that's where I said to you, I think we're good because, we had some muscle, we had some public works folks, but I really want to thank you guys for coming and offloading the 100 trees, getting them set up. We did that in under an hour because
Mhm.
I know I had an appointment and I couldn't believe we got that done so quick. And yeah, I wasn't the muscle, so thanks you guys, for being.
Yeah, it was.
The muscles are rich.
Mostly whipped cream.
So that was the 17th and I really, I have to do public work too for clearing the decks on the space and I'm sure you had to do some finagling there. And then the next day, boy, we started early and yeah, I feel like it was a marathon day. So, Archie showed up the whole day, but who beat everybody there was Jenna and, but who had to get there early with coffee was Melissa. So, so I would say, for the tree tenders, I mean, the rock star was definitely Jenna showing up so early, getting things set up, like setting up the room, with John, by the way. So John shows up with his kids and had to give up his Saturday morning as well. So
Thank you, John.
I know.
Was Jenna our greeter too?
Jenna was not only the greeter, but I mean, I would say from a logistics perspective, I don't think I've ever found such a young volunteer who was so capable of doing so much in one day. Because in addition to doing all the setup with me, and then Melissa came with the food, I mean, it was just amazing, like how thought through, like we had tea and she went ahead and made signs for what tea it was. Like, it was so far over the top.
Jenna did.
Why do you think I'm here? You guys.
Wait a minute, but the best part was, I thought I'd have a little bit more help at 2:00 to put together 100, stakes and netting for the trees. And, So I recruited Jenna to come with me, and her and two guys from Public Works, put them together and made what we called party favors. Who else was there?
Archie.
Archie, yeah, Archie lived the whole day with us,
Yes,
right?
yes.
He kind of showed up in time for the event, and then he kind of did that, but yeah, I think the fact that she pulled double duty, not just on tree tender setup, but she did all the setup of these party favors, which was a lot of work. You had to count, anyway.
Few scratches.
Scratches, I mean, wiring, wood, yeah, so it was a lot of work. So I just wanted to give a shout out to that. And then Joanna bailed me out because, for we were down one person, we had a big line. We knew that was gonna happen. When the adoption started, we needed more bodies because people were lined up. And so Joanna jumped out of line and kind of helped and.
I more just ran in. I'm like, I'm here. What do you need? I wasn't even in line.
Yeah.
I was more like, let me help out because I got back from my trunk or treat.
That was it, yes. So anyway, so it was great, but that's what I'm saying is the volunteerism from this group and more.
Yeah, the Public Works are there.
Oh, the Public Works guys, they were
They're
great.
great. And how many people were actually in the class?
So I was a little upset. They were turning people away because they had more than 25. So they actually had a waiting list, but in the end, there were only 18 who showed.
Oh.
So I know, so I was very upset with them. I said, next time you can't cut it off like that. You've got to allow everybody to sign up. Because we had some folks no show that morning. So, yeah, but it was 18. And 18 completers, they now have been certified. And again, we want to do outreach to them and get them involved. And that's where I've been talking with John about, we want to take, kind of send a notice to them to ask them to be the first 100 to document the trees that were planted in McCandless on John's. We see them as our beta testers for launching the GPS map site that can identify those. And Tree Pittsburgh has that already set up. So I'm trying to connect John with Laura Lynn, who sent me their map. They still have a map from their tree adoptions of everybody in McCandless who ever got one. So they had sent me that data, but it's on a Google map with a pin drop on who and what tree and where. So,
Okay.
but any suggestions too on getting that GPS site set up? Because it's going to be attached to the McCandless site, right?
If we ever do that, yeah, but I do want to see
If we
what.
ever do that.
It's like our GIS does not have a public facing
Oh.
section right now,
Oh,
which is the
really?
main thing, yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
But if we can figure out what Tree Pittsburgh is doing
Yeah,
and we can just link back to them, that just might be easier,
okay,
I want to see what they're doing, we can figure it out.
okay. So we'll work with Laura Lynn on that.
Yeah.
Because she did send me.
Because they
kind of-
probably have a really simple setup that we're not thinking about,
Yeah, that's what I hear. It's just easy, right?
Yeah.
To Google map with pin drops. So, and that's what Tree Pittsburgh has. Anyway, I feel like I'm taking up a lot of time, but.
No, it's wonderful time. So, and you gave away all 100 trees.
Yeah, yeah. And, in the end, we did have folks not show. I even felt bad. Were you there at 5 or?
No, I was at a wedding.
Who was with me?
I was there.
But in the end, who was it? It must have been Archie. We were leaving the parking lot after getting all cleaned up and everything. And somebody pulled in and said, did I miss it? And I'm like, we literally just, so yeah, but there were people who totally forgot. I think you had a couple reach out to you. So yeah, so that happened, but we had adoptees and we were horse trading, people who really wanted certain ones who weren't able to get them. In the end, we were trying to negotiate, for those who didn't really want that anyway, it worked out. I think most people walked away with the tree they wanted. So, and some people, ended up with more than one tree. They had, 2, 3, 4. I'm not recalling, but I have them all documented, and that's what I owe Tree Pittsburgh back is, who got what, and then we'll do the pin drops and have them participate in the map. So, but I do want to thank McCandless Township too for kind of allowing us to do that, and And then we've got to go get some sponsorship and get
Yeah.
that underway. Anyway.
Okay, can I ask, so Allegheny County reached out to me, as you saw. So, uh, Braden Meyer,
Yeah,
and he has this, he has these, I have several thousand 5-foot tree tubes and 5-foot stakes that were left over from the Chesapeake Bay Foundation. Blah, 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 blah. We can have, about 15,000 stakes and tubes that we're keeping as of our project, blah, blah, blah. But they have these. Do we need these? Do we have a place to put these?
Well, that's what
I don't mean thousands, I mean some.
well, that's what I said to you. I don't know where we'd put them.
yeah, talk to Public Works.
Yeah.
And we have to figure out what they are willing to take on.
And those tubes are just like what you see in North Park.
Which I thought you didn't like those,
I don't.
which is why
They-
I wasn't like
They
jumping on.
insist that they work. And some of them, the trees are finally growing out the top. What American Chestnut Foundation found with those is when they came out the top because they weren't weatherized prior, that they broke off. Now they insist that they work. So over the next couple of years, we're gonna be able to see in North Park if they do or not.
Right.
Okay, maybe there's a way that we can, do before a community event, we can say, can we get 100 of each? And maybe give them out or something like that. Something, garden in the park,
Yeah.
maybe we have them underneath our tape.
The reason for the tubes is what they have found is it's less expensive way to protect from deer. And the trees will grow up out of them. And it's much less expensive than using wire. And particularly the way the county uses the wire, they notch everything over. When I use wire, I do top, bottom, middle, and I can take it off and move it to another tree, and they don't do it that way. But that's, it's less expensive than using the wire.
Right. Well, I mean, Jeff, I had heard about that opportunity as
Mhm.
well and didn't really act on it. Because I don't know what McCandless Township's,
I wouldn't know either. honestly.
storage capability.
Yeah, I don't know, like, we
is.
have to have a good reason to take them too.
Yeah,
So maybe we'll just think about that. I don't think they're going anywhere.
If you want a reason for it, you could then be using those tubes to plant trees like in Wall Park and Vestal Park and Potter Park, because that would be your deer protection.
Right,
Oh.
so until we start putting a shovel in the ground, we can't really do much with them, but when we do,
well,
maybe that's an answer.
they're not getting rid of them, are they?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, I mean, they're gonna have them. My view is let them store them until we need them.
Yeah, he said, I have about 15,000 stakes and tubes, and we plan on using some of them for our projects, but it will take years to go through that many.
Right, yeah.
I would touch base with him so that he doesn't feel ignored.
Okay, got it. I'll do that.
I was
Okay,
gonna
I'll
say,
follow up on that one. Okay, couple other little ticks and ties. Leaf Angels,
Mhm.
was that John Schwen, was he saying, or what was the Leaf Angels program?
John Schwend wanted to start a Leaf Angels and Snow Angels program, so we started that. I'm in charge of it.
Okay,
Yes, we have-
I was thrilled to see it.
Oh, yeah, it's-
Yeah.
It's gonna be fun, and the really good thing is, we didn't have a lot of time to put together for the leaves at least. So the deadline is Monday at noon for people to sign up. Right now, I have 7 people seeking service and 5 volunteers, so that's pretty good, that's pretty balanced.
Yeah, that's actually really good.
Only do 2 properties, we should be fine.
Yeah.
That's
Mhm.
great.
And then we'll do snow, kick that off probably next month before the snow actually gets here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll joke, I'll say I should get somebody to volunteer to do my 350-foot long driveway for me.
You can tip them.
That's why I
okay,
have an ATV.
good, John. So then moving on, John wants to do or somebody wants to do an Earth Day planting. Who, was that John again?
I
Or
think
was that Abby?
it's either one of them, I mean.
Yeah, and Bernie, you and I said yes to that.
Yeah.
We'll figure that out. So, and Ken, you also said yes. So I don't think there's anything.
That's a traditional thing.
Right,
Yeah.
okay, so we'll do, just letting the committee know that we're gonna do that as well. And then lastly is Liberty Tree.
Yep.
That was another one. So I think, they'll have to come up with where that is, but I think that's another thing we'll get in a,
And we have that on our calendar. I think it was, because we didn't hear a date, whether it was gonna be April or May.
Yeah.
We threw it on May. Not knowing, but I mean, we can always throw it somewhere else. But again, there were thoughts about, what we could do there
okay?
on that. So
Okay, good.
again, we threw it on the calendar. You're right. I think the Earth Day planting. I know the township wants to do it. It was Tree Pittsburgh who just yelled at me and said, please don't ever say Arbor Day or Earth Day for planting. But
Yeah.
if the township, has the, wherewithal to want to do that, then yeah, we wanted to support it. And do they have a site selected for that?
I don't know. So I'll go back and I'll just make sure that, and I'll make sure that we've confirmed that we want to be involved in where, in anything else. So I'll follow up on all those little things.
Okay, well, and again, I want to get them all on, what I'd call the annual calendar for trees, and then we can promote these really at the top of the year and every month, ideally be able to talk about the calendar and
Right.
promote them.
Okay, good. All right, anything else for Bernie? Okay, very good. So into community outreach, we've already talked about the tree tenders and tree adoption recap. Next big topic is Winterfest. Is Winterfest. So we have a table. I don't know, let's just sort of think about what we need here in the way of Winterfest and what we want to do and how we want to present ourselves.
Okay. So I know we're doing the Christmas tree
Mhm.
and Melissa and I are going to go on an adventure.
Supplies.
Yes. Other than that, so I know last year we had the turning over a new leaf activity where we had people talking about what they could do in the next year to help the environment. So then we put it on our tree.
Right.
I kind of like the idea in a way of like that New Year's resolution feel. Like it's something, it's not exactly Christmassy, but it's a way like people around that time are thinking about what can I do in the next year? And I like that idea. Because I know that there's other crafts that are happening where they're making other ornaments, they're making other things.
Mhm.
You can go that route. It's a lot more kid-centric at Winterfest than it is at Community Day. So there would be a lot more kids and we're going to be going through a lot more material. So like thinking about it that way, it was easier to have something where it's like, okay, and you can draw a picture here.
Mhm.
That was easier. I don't know if we want to think about and like, do we want to do leaves again? Do we want it? How do we want to display it? Because the other thing was at the end, there was that unceremonious, and now we throw them all in the garbage.
I would say keep them and build upon them, especially
Right.
with it being tree year, we can build
Mhm.
a tree and more. We could even bring it and have people make new trees at different events throughout the year, get it kicked off a little with the pre-holiday resolutions or however,
Okay,
but you don't necessarily have to tear them down.
right. But
You guys have room to store this stuff?
that's what I was just thinking, like, where does this get stored and where would we?
You have a garage, don't you?
There's I saw it on the, when we filled out our water on Tree Tender Day, there's like storage behind
There is some storage behind there for events. There's a couple closets here that are pretty full, a lot of other stuff ends up at Public Works, of course. Abby keeps stuff in her office too, and it's hard to walk around sometimes.
Right, so that's where it is hard, like, is it better to store it digitally?
That's true, just take pictures.
And just say, because that's what I did last year of some of my favorites, I just took pictures of some of my favorites, so we can
Worst
look
case, we
back.
recycle them all, so.
Yeah.
And since we're going to reuse anyway, we could grab more paper for it.
Right, that's where I got it in the first place,
Yeah.
so. I think I still have some of it.
That's a nice simple craft, not messy at all, easy to do.
That's what, I don't want anything that's gonna be messy, no glitter, no paint,
Is it correct?
no
that
glue.
We are only there 3 to 7 this year, those are the
3 to
hours?
7, yeah.
3 to 7. So, okay. So as far as who's even available that day,
I'm there the whole time.
okay,
And all my crazy material and all
I'll be
that.
available for part of the day. I don't necessarily know if I could do the whole thing, but I could do half of it for sure.
What are the date? Is the date?
The 6th,
Yeah.
which is a Saturday.
I was planning on being there.
I cannot attend.
Ooh.
This is a
Uh,
debate. Date is important. Tournament
Mm-hmm.
slash SAT if I decide to do that instead.
No problem.
Oh, yeah.
So we have
Got you
Jeff
covered.
as entire day. I can at least come to help set up with you.
Okay.
Stay through. We'll see what other hours we get here.
I have nothing else going on that day, so.
Well, in a way, it's not bad because we don't want, I don't think that's a thing. We don't have a lot of room to like, I'll be there whole time doing my, my talk. And if you just take care of, and you guys are gonna do the tree? Is that what you said before? Like the, decorate the tree?
Well, yeah, that's.
Yeah, do we want to decorate a tree then?
Well,
Instead of a
the
leaf?
tree is,
Or we're gonna put it on the tree?
well, there's two trees, right?
There's a
So
tree out
Decorate the
front.
Christmas tree first.
Right, we have
But
to do
that's
that
happening
too.
before that.
Yes, that's happening before
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
And I'll help with that too. So we'll have to figure out how we want to decorate the tree.
We were gonna grab supplies for the tree
Yes.
here.
Yeah, I mean, it should be something, obviously, it should be,
Reuse.
Yeah.
reuse on, exactly right. Sustainability stuff,
Mhm.
all that kind of stuff, and things that's not gonna blow over, that we're gonna be picking up on April 25th.
Really
Exactly.
quick, did we have anybody else who's helping out day of? Are you free at all on the sixth?
I was gonna suggest you send out an email and people.
Okay, I can do that. I'll take care of
There's
that.
Matt.
Matt, yep. Are
He's
you,
good.
do you want just part of the day, all the day? What's your preference there?
I ideally part of the day, but if you need somebody, I can probably find a way to be there the whole time.
Okay, perfect. And then I'll send out the email still so you
Because I
can
don't,
schedule.
my
No worries.
calendar's not here, so.
And then
I'm available.
okay,
Probably be happier helping with setup.
happier with setup.
If you guys need help with just getting everything,
Okay.
ready to go,
And I'll-
or clean up,
Okay.
or, if you need coverage in hours, but,
I
Also,
need to have for cleanup and Ken for Bernie for setup and Ken for cleanup.
Okay. I'll send out the email anyway, just to make sure you're free, but.
last year we also had a snack, but I don't know if it's gonna be,
I don't think
it
we
was like,
want-
I don't
don't
think they
think we
want
want
food
snacks,
again. I think
no.
they're probably bringing.
Based off what had happened at the last event, they said not to do snacks bigger than just a candy because of food vendors. So I'm
That-
gonna assume same
Work,
policy.
that makes things easier.
Yeah.
Okay,
Keep it no food.
so we're gonna decorate a Christmas tree. Or a
Yes.
tree,
With
an
things,
evergreen out in
yes.
front of the
Correct.
municipal building.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, fine, we're gonna do that, and we'll do that prior to.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
then we'll set up. We will talk about all of our programs and different things, and then there'll be a craft. Which will be, I mean, it's,
Craftivity.
okay, craftivity. Okay, great. Can you have an idea for this craftivity?
It's gonna be similar to what we did last year of thinking ahead, what would you like to do in the next year? What can you do to help the environment and get the kids thinking, like more forward thinking with what they can do? And I had it, so it was something that everybody could access. So I even had some things printed out ahead of time that were pictures of like turning off lights and, turning
Yeah.
off water. So when
Yeah,
it's like
yeah.
a 2-year-old and they want to do it, you get a glue stick, you go rub, 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 rub,
Yeah.
and then you stick it on, you pat, 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 pat. So that way they feel like they're doing something, but they're not able to write or draw pictures as well.
And then we'll also want to do the volunteer sign up list. I'm not sure if you wanted your wheel again or.
Not the wheel.
Not this
Not
time.
the
Okay.
wheel.
And then as far as what we're having on the table, we do a lot of the same things every time. Maybe we also have too many things sometimes.
Yeah.
Maybe we
Mhm.
pare
Yeah,
it
we
down.
should
and
have
focus
about
on
5 less
tree
things.
Related.
We don't have deer,
Right.
we don't have
Yeah,
deer, we don't
yeah.
have tree, like that type
Well,
of stuff.
Well, we should pick which ones we will want going in
Okay.
for that. And since Bernie has tree kicking off, did you want to focus on that?
Growing tree, right?
Yeah, but as far as the information with the
Yeah,
calendar, I
we-
don't know if your calendar would be ready by
Yeah.
then, but
We definitely
that
could.
could be,
That's good.
We could definitely.
then you can promote all of the
And
activities.
that's it. Is it a handout? Is that what you're looking for, like, to
Yeah.
promote it? Because
Do we have a solid activity in January or February coming up? I can't recall. I need to read over your details
It's
again.
also a good place to let know when, for our public speaking things.
Yeah, public,
Mhm.
the speaker series.
Yeah,
Yes.
and I know we're getting to the speaker
Yeah.
series on the agenda, but
Mhm.
ideally, if we have the next two selected, we can.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we can
Yeah.
publish that, yeah.
Yeah, that would be good to just sort of showcase
Publish on
that
the
and then.
calendar.
Okay, good. So if you can come up with something that looks like a, some type of, PowerPoint or something, like just PowerPoint,
just
that
this
Dawn can print it out
one-pager.
and we can promote it.
I would say also for anything that we do print this time, if it's related topics, let's try to do double-sided so we don't have
Yes,
multiple sheets
Yeah.
of similar information because
Yeah.
that got messy.
yeah,
So we can email over the next couple of weeks, but we'll want this ironed out pretty soon because this is what, 2.5 weeks, 3 weeks away.
Mhm.
yeah.
Should I be wearing a Christmas tree outfit?
If you want to.
Okay.
Yeah, that could be,
Oh,
It could be a tree.
yeah,
Yeah, definitely.
yeah, yes.
And,
I think that's
and
great.
do we need to bring, do I need to bring my big tree? Was that the idea?
That's what I think we're thinking, is putting it on that tree
Okay,
again.
good. And then these things that we're putting on a tree, is it the stickers again, or is it not, it's not those stickers that I have,
No, it's
right?
not stickers. It's gonna be,
Is that what you did?
we had tape
I wasn't
previously.
there last year, I was out of town.
Okay, we had tape last year, and then one lesson we learned is try to have as many kind of cut out ahead of time as
Yes.
possible, because that was
Hold up.
a big holdup, and make sure they're easy shapes, like they were.
We could just like pre-fold them and like wrap them and then let them hold them. Okay, we can build that up as part of setup.
Yes.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
I'll be there for that. I'm
Yeah.
there, I'm
Yeah.
there all day, so.
Okay.
Okay, so Joanna, would you like to just do like a little, or somebody, just do like a little summary then? I mean, I know you're putting together just.
I need to, I'll send out the email asking for hours and sort of building out a mock schedule, just to make sure we're okay and like put a recap too of what we just discussed.
Perfect, that's exactly what I'm looking
That will probably be Friday or Saturday.
for. Okay,
If you all see that, but yes.
yeah,
Okay.
That's all right.
okay, excellent. Okay, so Winterfest, we're off and running. That was great. So speaker series, we talked about that, and we know that we have 2 in a can. So that's great. I don't think we need to worry about a third one yet. We'll come up with that in 2026.
So the two are both the tree ones?
No, I thought what we agreed to.
Go
Two
ahead.
trees and
We,
two others.
yeah, two
Yeah.
trees and 2 others. So could we talk about? some
That's what we
of
had
these?
talked about last.
Sure,
last
okay, let's do that.
All right. There's a guy I'm aware of that I think would be really interesting who, he's a bee specialist, and he's the guy who, runs all of the beehives out at the airport, but he also has a biology degree and can talk about native bees and pollinators and ecology as well.
That'd be fantastic.
I love it.
Entomologist.
I mean, Audubon
Doing-
Society, we've
we're
got,
doing bird town,
Yeah,
that
so
fits in
that-
really
that-
well. Yeah.
It's a good
Yeah.
point.
Yeah.
It's a great
so we're
point.
gonna talk about the birds and the bees, got it.
No,
So
Bees and trees.
why don't we let that one,
He's in the trees.
let that one up, I'm talking to Nick Stallman of the Audubon Society. And maybe it might be him, and it might be related to Birdtown, PA.
That is our
That is-
speaker series is.
Yeah, I like
birds,
it.
Bees and trees.
Yeah. that
Oh,
would
I
be
like it.
amazing.
6,
Wait,
right?
and you can,
Well, let me find out for sure if we
Yeah,
can get
I
the
know.
guy. So let me look into it again, but
that'll be easy to advertise the birds and the bees and, yeah.
I still don't even know.
I will find some kind of entomologist to talk about bees.
Okay,
Yeah, so we want to do birds, bees and trees? Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah,
That
Well,
works.
we can do
Just
birds.
wonderful.
If we can get our people to commit.
yes.
Yeah.
And
So-
throw in some of the, like with the lantern fly and stuff like that, if that's possible.
Yeah, insects.
I can see if,
Go
can-
pair with that.
yeah,
They seem to be doing like what the gypsy moth did. The critters are figuring out that they're edible, and
Yeah,
Mhm.
so I think the problem's going to dissipate, but
it does seem that way.
Good. I want to get clarification on the speaker series. Was that meant to be a collaboration with the library? And was it always intended to be at the library, or was it supposed
it
to
was
be?
done with the library because of the ability that they had a place, and they had the ability to get it out to the general public, broadly disseminated.
That would be great to get back with them, especially as the construction's wrapping up.
That's what I'm thinking. When, I don't know when.
It's
that's-
pretty soon.
Oh, is it? So for 2026?
We might be able to partner.
They're very good because they're very good about getting it disseminated,
Yeah,
you know.
That would be amazing.
yeah,
So
so,
people.
all right.
And have a better
And,
space.
and we worked with them on, doing.
So that was actually another member who was working with past, but I can make the connection again if we need to.
Right. But I think that's why I'm asking about the history. The history was, it was always EAC in the library.
They added the library on eventually,
Okay.
because they also have slightly better Zoom capabilities for large events as well. during COVID, so that was also very convenient as
Oh,
well.
really?
When during COVID, with the library, we did a deer program. We had 250 spots. They were all taken and there was waiting lists.
It's amazing.
Was that a Zoom?
Yeah.
Wow, okay. That's incredible. So, yeah, and yeah, I just feel like last year, because they were under construction, we didn't work with them, but I feel like we should go.
Yes.
back to-
Yeah.
Yeah, all right.
Good idea.
Very good. That's a
They,
great
they
idea.
can network it. So, I mean, they really can get it out there.
Okay,
And I'll think about how to advertise that speaker series to high schoolers too, and get some people there.
Birds and the bees, they'll come.
you could have a special, you
Yeah.
know,
I'll figure that out. I'll let you guys know.
And Matt sent over an idea for, take a look at that, for the Winterfest. You found something for us to,
That was just to you, Jeff, and to Melissa and Joanna.
okay, got it. Okay, that's
Was it
for.
an
that's for
email?
Correct.
It's just there's a bunch of things on Amazon where they have leaves that are like they're the shape of leaves, and we could buy those. They're pretty inexpensive, and it would lead to less waste of all those stuff, the cuttings that we would have to like cut everything out, and we throw that paper away. So it might be easier. I mean, it'll definitely be easier, and it will probably lead to less waste.
We're heading to the place this weekend, so we'll see what we find, and if nothing, then we can go with this as backup.
Yeah, definitely.
Good. And don't forget, we have a budget, so.
Mhm.
Good. Okay, very good. Next up is the adopt the highway date, which we sort of came to loosely up to this Saturday. So I'm gonna be at the Cloverleaf on Ingamore this Saturday. And more hands make it less work. I would say with 2 people would probably be an hour and a half. With 4 people would probably be an hour most.
What time?
Looks pretty good. It doesn't.
Yeah, no, it's not much, just, it's a walk. It's not much at all, but we do have a commitment as Adopt a Highway to do it twice a year. So we can do it at 9 o'clock, we can do it 10 o'clock or whatever that is. And,
Okay.
Can anybody join me then?
I can join and I can bring my husband,
Okay, great.
if that's
Wonderful.
okay.
Yeah.
is it gonna be 10 or 9?
Which one do you prefer?
It's a 7.
Warmer.
10?
It's warmer at 10. It gives us time to take the dogs on a
Let's
nice
do
long
10
walk.
o'clock. So 10 o'clock, whoever can join, it's gonna be an easy one, it's gonna be a fast one, so whoever can join. Nobody needs to say anything, I don't need to send an email, so it's this Saturday. Meet whenever you leave here and you go out right and go down Ingamar. There is a road that is now sort of closed off, and it used to lead down to the cinemas.
There's an little orange cone there.
Yeah, okay, so it's right before, and then we can just walk to all 4, the 4 little entrances to 19 north and south. And we could be done with this thing in no time. I'll have bags, I'll have gloves, I'll have all that kind of stuff.
Okay.
I don't think I do have gloves. I have bags, but no gloves.
I mean, we have gloves.
Do you?
Okay.
Because I
You
just
have your pickers?
For the
I
pickers option, I didn't.
great point. John, before I leave tonight, I'll grab 4
I get more.
pickers.
Well, how many people? You said 1, 2, 3. I won't be able to make it.
Okay, so probably we'll have 4, which means it'll go really, really fast.
Bernie
And so
said
I'll
you
grab
were going,
pickers
Bernie?
and gloves.
It's gonna be the 4 of you.
Yeah, that's wonderful. Thank you. I'll grab pickers and gloves. Okay, good. Thank you for that. Okay, next up is the Birdtown application. So mainly it was green lighted by John to do this, to move forward on this, John Schwen. And from that standpoint, there are some requirements, and one is an application which John and I are working on. So it's a very simple application to be certified green. It's just sort of the entry level certification. It is to adopt a resolution, which they were going to do at this past Monday meeting, but I said, they're anxious to do it. I said, give us a little bit of time. So probably November 24th, council will pass a resolution. I'll work with Diane on that. And then it's $100 fee to join. So, and then from there, we'll start to work with the Audubon Society to partner on a 2026 agenda and education and things like that.
I'd actually, thinking about what the students are going to be doing for us in the spring, we might be able to have them work on looking at what's needed for that program as well as the gold into platinum and start building a plan to get us to the highest level for each of those.
Yes, you mean the Penn State students? Oh, that's great. Okay, that's a good idea. Okay,
Since we now will have those two separate certifications that we're working on.
that's right. Okay. Okay, I will hunt and peck here for a minute and that's all we can do. Okay, so that is the update on Birdtown application. Next is miscellaneous. Open EAC position. We have 9 candidates. We've interviewed 8 of them. I'll ask Melissa and Nick to join in, but I would say that each one of them have just unique qualifications, and it's an extremely difficult process because there's so many great candidates. So we are really
We've been very fortunate with the applicants this
wow.
room, so it's a great problem to have.
Yeah.
It's a good problem.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a great problem. And what we're attempting to do is we're attempting to determine different skills throughout as we do this and see if they can fit in different places. And we've done that a little bit. And we also have people saying, even if I don't get the position, I want to be involved in X, Y, and Z going forward.
Several of them have expressed that,
Yeah.
so it's really, really great.
It is.
Yeah. So we will figure out a way to really take advantage of the quality of candidates that we have to keep them interested and the ones unfortunately the 8 that won't be chosen, hopefully we can, still, sort of use them and use their talent someplace and use them someplace else. So yeah, we're really, really lucky. So the other additional update is that since the process is taking longer, it will go to we will have made a choice. It will go to council on the 24th, and then we will look for them to attend the December meeting.
Good. So they'll be here next month.
Unless they're unavailable that day for some reason, yes,
Yeah.
because they don't know if they are the accepted person yet, so whoever they may be.
Okay. So moving beyond that, December mail tip. Where are we with that?
Historically, we've had holiday tips for sustainability, deer management, solar, stormwater runoff, phone books and radon, as well as recycling. So it's been all over the place.
Yeah.
I wanted the indoor air quality and radon.
Want to go ahead and take that then?
Yeah, if we're good with that,
Sure.
unless you have an idea for something you'd like to do.
Nope, that sounds great to me.
Yeah.
Indoor air quality, it's kind of fun because that was one of my responsibilities back in the early 1980s in Washington DC, doing all of that stuff. So interesting how 50 years later, they come back around and go through the same stuff again.
It is just-
Yeah.
It doesn't always get
40.
applied.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, I just recently in my own home, because I still had a radon problem, even with increasing the radon, and I have all kind of air cleaners inside the house that are the best quality. I had to put in a system to pull in more outdoor air through the main system in order to do a greater air exchange. And my radon levels have decreased, but they're still not below what they should be. So to me, it's been like a 3-year saga of trying to get healthy indoor air quality in my own home. So I feel like I've learned a lot in attempting this. But I'll focus on. It's not relevant now, but I think, when we're having all the wildfire problems, and what's happening, that's when I think people notice it and pay attention. But outside of that, I think, tell me about
Well, it is relevant now for people who have like wood burning stoves as we're approaching the colder time.
Yeah,
That's a great way to tie it in.
yeah. That's a great, because I love wood burning stove and fireplaces, I always had them until this house. And I hated not having them. I have gas, but yeah, they're a real problem.
They are.
Yeah, so,
But when we were doing it in the 1980s, you were coming out of very, very loose construction. That you had a lot of air turnover, and then they were making houses too tight.
right,
And so then you were getting all the indoor air issues, and the long and short of it is we figured out as long as you get the air turnover once an hour, you're
You're good.
you know. But it's Lawrence Berkeley Labs and all those people, you know, we had a lot of fun.
well, I'll have you take a look at what.
I was gonna suggest that,
Yeah.
that would be a great idea, so, and always with the tips, I'm just reminding you, please run them past me first, because if there's anything that might be, I know about that's going on in council, that might be, you know, in contradiction to something, like, because we did run into that one time with lighting and, you know, with regard to LED lights and different things like that, and we found that we got egg on our face a little bit, so just make sure, and if I have any questions, I'll run it past Nick, and we'll make sure that we're not being, you know, not contradicting anything they're doing.
Who was advocating for bad lighting?
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, is that what was happening?
I don't remember, I wasn't as,
It was, the gentleman was concerned with all the bright lights in the neighborhood and how there was no darkness and
Oh, yeah,
the different, you know, bright white versus soft and so forth, and people weren't considering that when they were putting their outdoor lighting in and things.
yeah,
That was his big thing in, you know, in a suburban community.
yeah. It's one of the things I like about McCandless is we don't, in my neighborhood anyway, have even street lighting. I happen to love that.
you might be able to see the Aurora Borealis tonight.
When we get out, we should definitely look up.
Oh, yeah.
If you've never seen Aurora, it's really, really cool.
Yeah.
I got to see that trout fishing up in northern Labrador, you know, fly fishing at night, you know, with beavers around.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's incredible.
Exactly.
You know, I mean, that was just, it is really incredible.
Okay, so you're going on a tip?
Yeah.
Okay, wonderful. Regional EAC, I'm sorry.
I was gonna say, unless somebody really wanted to do something else.
No, I think this is unique. This is new for us.
Yeah.
And just make sure Ken, you know, Okay,
I'll
good.
send it around. You guys can all tell me what I did wrong, but yeah.
The Aurora, if you can get somewhere dark.
yeah. We give it a shot tonight.
Yeah,
Okay, regional EAC reboot. I've actually connected with Pine, with Ross, with Franklin,
Captain,
and Liz from Hampton got back to me finally, but nobody from Hampton. But I'll connect with Hampton. So it's, you know, it's a longer process, but I would say that you know, hopefully we can host the first regional EAC gathering here at Devlin Park at some point next spring. So really, I mean, I'm just trying to make connections right now. But you know, that's what my goal is to do that, you know, and then somebody else could host it another time. So twice a year is good. We'll just take the first one.
they're very interesting because you have people with different expertise and stuff or grant with the grants and so forth and different. We're all trying to accomplish the same thing, and how somebody has gotten something accomplished it's worthwhile. Those conversations are really worthwhile.
yeah, and even aligning and teaming up and doing.
Yeah.
You know, even joint grants, you know, everybody from the state loves to see that, especially when we have the same representatives.
Yeah. And so we'll focus on that in, you know, a few months, but we'll make sure that we, you know, put together a robust agenda and we're touching all the bases.
You know, the Remarkable Tree Program really came out of, I think it's Franklin, or is it Pine? One of the two Archie was talking
I
about,
think it was Franklin Park.
but he's reached out to them to he said they have a form to fill out to submit, and that's what he was trying to get from them.
Mhm.
So, you know, if you're talking with them and somebody mentions that.
Okay.
That was the outreach he was trying to do on that.
It's interesting too, different, you know, like Hampton's EAC is very involved with planning and all of that kind of stuff. They're much more involved in other areas as well. And where the different emphasis of the different committees are.
Right, that's, you'll see vast differences.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, next up is monthly meeting time or start time. And so, we looked like we came to, a split. And I think, when you come to a split, you sort of keep the status quo. So, I would suggest, but I want to open it up to the committee if, John, I don't think the calendar has gone to print yet, has it?
It's going to print Monday.
We pretty much decided, I thought. that
Yeah, we
you could
did.
Just leave it at 7:30.
Well, that's what we'll do, but I mean, but I'd like to, and I think that's true, because there's three of us that said, we'd love to take it to 7, there's three of us that it's not as possible, and I didn't know
All
if
of us
anybody.
joined knowing it was 7:30. That's even what was posted for the new applicant.
Very true.
So
Okay, good. But two things, we can address this again next year prior to the calendar, so we can address for 2027. Can we begin it at 7 o'clock? And we'll just have a robust conversation about that instead of forcing it this time. And secondly, is I think we just all need to have a strong commitment to keeping this thing strictly on time, no longer than 9 o'clock, no longer than an hour and a half, no matter what time we start. So
Mhm.
I think that's it's a good reason to emphasize that. Okay, so John, we're to stay at 7:30.
Okay.
All right, much to your chagrin.
But we could do 7:15. That would be the real compromise.
still just adds another layer of math.
Yeah, I don't think
Yeah.
it's 7:15 today.
Nobody likes.
I s-
7:15. I thought-
Starting on to 15 is kind of a unique thing. I don't know.
Anytime I set up work meetings that way, half the time people show up early and other times
Yeah.
people are just confused.
Yeah, that's what tonight. I thought it was 7:15. That's,
Yeah,
I will add the town council did just actually vote to start our meetings in 2026 at 7.
Yeah, that's what John said
2027.
initially, that a lot of these meetings were starting at 7.
Mhm.
But he's saying for 27, not.
Oh, I thought he
I
said.
think they're starting at 26.
No,
Yeah, that's
that's
26.
what I meant to say. Yes, correct. Sorry. Thank you.
I heard 26.
Okay,
Yep.
well. Okay.
okay, well.
And I can plan in advance if need. I have a
Right.
patient that I can't move right now. So,
Yeah, so we'll discuss it in, next September, October, and then we'll hopefully we can adjust and. Yeah, 'cause it's a long day for John, but
Maybe give you a
anyways.
year to
Right.
try and change that
right,
time.
right.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think you're the only one, but yeah.
Okay, and then next, it's not on the agenda, but I have it here in my notes. Did we submit, I put together an annual report for council. And John, you did graphics for it. Melissa, you touched it up and put it in a different format and changed it. Did we submit that, Nick, or did we finalize that?
I did not see that in my packet at Monday's meeting.
I haven't seen.
Okay,
So I'm assuming
It's in our SharePoint too.
yeah, okay, so we'll have it for you for the 24th. Is that okay, or?
Yeah. absolutely. Yeah.
Okay, good. So we just have to put a bow on that. It's in the SharePoint. Yeah,
I can resend you the link.
But you,
okay, we'll get it to you, Nick.
Thank you.
Okay, next up is report from town council. Nick?
We are in budget mode season here. We had our first public presentation of the budget on Monday. Next council meeting, we will have the public hearing for said budget, and then the first December meeting, we'll vote to approve the budget. In the proposed budget for 2026, we do have a $79,000 increase to the Parks and Rec budget, which is a 40% increase from 2025, landing it at $279,000, which I love. So that's about it.
And now we have our own budget, but so that budget doesn't really do anything for us per se. That's just.
No,
Okay,
no, but you are part of our budget. I don't know what the exact number is because it's like a subsection.
Okay,
But anything you guys need, our council fully supports you guys.
thank you. Anything with regard to the elections that is meaningful for this committee?
We will have 3 new council members, which is a pretty large number. I will be sure to tell them that the EAC rocks. So
Okay. Yeah, and we will, and they begin when? January?
yeah, they'll be sworn in. We'll have a reorganization meeting the beginning of January. And you will receive a new council liaison.
Okay, we will get a new council liaison.
Yes.
You're leaving us?
I believe, John, correct me if I'm wrong, but can the same liaison stay on, or do we
Yes,
get?
it does happen. I mean, it's
Okay.
kind of. So officially, the council president
Yeah.
sort of figures that out, in conjunction with however they want to do it. And presumably, there's going to be some side discussions figuring out who's probably going to be president beforehand, if I'm guessing right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
My fire alarm
everyone can
is
say,
going
yeah,
off.
everyone can say the same, everyone can change. It's just really, technically under the purview of the president.
Okay. I don't know if you guys heard that, but the fire alarm just went off. So if that came through and was loud, sorry.
It did not.
Okay, well, if you burst into flames, we'll,
Oh, it's back now.
yeah.
You need to leave?
I mean, it's probably the smart thing to do. So, all right. I'm gonna put on my shoes and go. Sorry, guys.
Good luck.
Thanks.
Yeah. We might get a new liaison, huh?
One way to get out of being our liaison.
Fire alarm and we never see him again.
I heard the fire alarm. Heard
Did
the
you?
beep- Yeah, I heard the beep in the back.
All right.
To get out of there.
So topics for next month's meeting will be the Penn State University community-wide greenhouse gas presentation. So we will allow time for that. A Winterfest recap. There'll probably be another McCandless 175th. If there's any update there, I will bring it. An update on the Birdtown resolution and application. And anything else?
Probably should do it just a real quick update on deer.
Like, what do you mean? Just,
Oh, he said for deer, just an update on deer.
you mean yours?
Yeah.
Oh, yours is always on.
Okay.
Well,
Yeah, yeah.
we're depending on timing.
Yeah, I think we
Confirm
should,
Whether or not they're in person, because that makes a difference.
that does make a
So
difference. Yeah, okay,
we-
so
we
let's
can
just make
adjust
sure
the
that,
Agenda depending on what we learn.
okay,
It may be a bigger focus for the students if they are actually physically here, rather than us talking about all of our typical topics. My understanding was they were, but if they're virtual, that's a different story.
okay, good. I'll find that out and we'll absolutely have that on the agenda.
I'll just do that real quick.
Yeah. And we'll keep yours on the agenda too. We probably won't need anything for.
No.
Yeah, we won't.
No,
need
we're not
anything there, But we'll keep, in case you have anything new, we'll throw it on there.
Okay.
Okay,
And we're all providing our feedback to you by end of next week for you.
Yeah, that's a
Just make
next
sure-
item.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just make sure you share that to us all.
And I'll get that article back out and
If I had internet.
Perfect.
Um,
If you need help, just let me know
Well, I
and I'll
know.
help you through the process.
yeah,
I can't. No. It's not.
I'm behind times. Like technically, we'll just leave it at that.
That,
yep.
you enjoy your nature. It's more
Mhm.
important.
Matt, anything to add, to the meeting or to next month's agenda?
No, I don't think so. I think the agenda for next month looks good.
Okay,
I hope they can be here in person.
yeah, I hope so too.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Glad you said, geez, I'm glad you're paying attention to
We
what's
can
going
get
on in the
snacks.
mouth.
It's the December meeting. We can have snacks, it's like
Ooh.
Christmas,
Yeah.
Is it our Christmas
Whoa.
party then?
Ooh, do we get that?
We can do it.
Kind of brought snacks
Oh,
today.
so it's fun. Okay, so with that, if there's anything else anybody needs to add?
John said we can have a party.
I will give a motion to adjourn.
All in favor?
All in favor? All right,
Sweet.
great.
I need a call guide about bees.
Thanks, everybody.